This is Dan. We're going to use a couple concentric mates right now. And this is once again in the A2 plus. And the concentric mate is that one there. Normally it will highlight and tell you what it is, but as before, I'm going to use the dialog box. And once again, we need to select two surfaces in order for that to show what selections we can do. So in this case, I'm going to pick the surface of this bolt that I've got here, hold down the control key, and I'm going to select that. This pops up and it shows us that we can do a concentric. Two axes are aligned, and this I believe is an offset. Oh, they're lined up, but not coincidence, not not in line with each other. So we click this one, and you can see that the bolt is now over the hole. It's not the right way, but don't worry. Once again, see, we can use the flip direction, and we accept it. A trick that took me a while to figure out is that when that lined up, it's because this piece is fixed. I should have said that in the first video. The first part that you bring into an assembly is fixed. And you can check on that by going to the part itself, going into the data, and fixed position is true. That means that no matter what you do, that 2x4 will end up being there. If you click on one of the later parts that we bought in, you can see that the fixed position is false. If you want that part to stay there, you can select and make it true, and that picture or that part is now fixed in space. But usually your base part, you do want it fixed. The rest of them, you want it to move. You want them to move to where they're supposed to be. Now, with these washers, if I want this washer to be on this bolt, I can set up that mate right now by clicking. Let's bring our dialog up. We can click on that outer surface, control key down, pick on this surface, and it shows us once again that we can make a concentric mate. So I click that, I accept it, but nothing's happened. That's because that neither one of those are fixed in space. Once I click on this one, I hold down the control key, I click inside the circle, and once I set this one, that washer should move over and be on the bolt. So yes, you can see how they've all lined up. Yep, the washer's way up there. But they are now all in line because even though it didn't move when I set the constraint, it's moved now. This bolt is already constrained to the board, which is fixed. So as soon as I make those selections on this washer and I select this bolt, oops, I forgot to hold down the control key. Control key down, surface picked, pick the constraint, and I'm going to accept it because I know it's where I want it to be. And you can see where they're both moved over there now. This bolt's upside down There's no problem with that. We just need to click on the bolt, scroll down until we find the highlighted part. There it is. Click on the axis coincidence. You can see that this one's to the washer, this one's to the board. So we click on that. Click on the edit constraint, and we can flip the direction on that. So anytime that you need to, you can come back in and edit those to get what you want. We can accept it there. We'll use a collinear for the next one, which is to put this washer. Hold down the control key, pick the bottom of the head, and once again, that you can pick this before or after. There's the constraint. Washer's now down there. We need to do the same thing with this other washer. Hold down the control key. Oh, I forgot to accept the last one. Oh, Dan. I tell you how perfect I am, but I'm not. Control key, surface, pick the constraint, accept it, bottom of the washer, control key, top of the board, constraint, and accept it. So that's how you got those. There's a few sometimes there's a lot of turning on the screen. Sometimes it's just as easy to pick the bottom of the 2x4 there, pick the bottom of the 2x4 here, constrain those two, accept, constrain that one or that surface, constrain them, accept. They haven't moved, but that's because they are not fixed. So then when we put the constraint between this surface, control key, and that surface, they all line up. So anyway, that's a little bit about how to get those in there, and I'll be back in just a second with another short video on one of the other constraints. Accept, and we'll see you later. Bye.